Hi, welcome back to the channel. I want to give you my quick review of the Salvage Yard, the chop shop, in this particular DLC. And I also want to tell you how I passively make my money in case that's of any interest. So that's chapter marked into two different parts. Okay, the chop shop itself, I didn't buy it on week 1. I wasn't that bothered, but week 2 I bought it because I was fed up of Yusuf ringing me, and I did all of the mini heists, and I think these are the little star of the business, and I think these do make the business worth it because you'll earn about $1 million a week if you rob the 3 cars. So do all the robberies for 3 weeks, you'll have earned 3 million. The strawberry one that I bought, which I think is best, costs around 2.6, so you're in profit after 3 weeks. So from that point of view, I do recommend the business because it's likely you will do more robberies than that and you will end up in profit. Then we move to the other side of the business where you tow cars in to be salvaged, and that also brings a passive income from the safe, although I would say the active salvage income is more. Now, I didn't invest in the safe, I didn't invest in an extra staff member, and I only bought the rusty tow truck. So I was looking for minimal investment to see what it was like. And what's it like? It's boring. It's really, really boring. Now, it does pay. The cars give sort of somewhere in the 30 to 40k per car when they're salvaged. And there's a small daily, that is per 48-minute income of 20-something thousand into the safe if you've had a fair few cars going. And that's great. And if you've perhaps got very little money in the game, you're going to want to maximise your investment, of course, in the chop shop, and you probably will want to do this. But honestly, you go out, you pick up a car, you bring it back. It can be miles away as well. Or you do the same thing, but there's the police, so you wait another couple of minutes driving over hills, down tunnels or whatever to lose them. And by the time you've got, say, 20 cars, that really becomes tiresome. And I know this game to a certain extent is grind, and I know some things are repetitive, but this one, it's too much for me. I stopped doing it. The safe is already reducing its daily income, and eventually I think the daily income will be zero, and I just don't care. So I recommend the chop shop. I recommend doing the robberies on it from the strawberry one. I really don't recommend buying any of the other things or doing that part of the business, to be honest, unless you really want to keep grinding at it to get the cash in. So it depends really on your financial situation, I think, on that. Part 2. How do I get my money? Well, I don't do heists anymore simply because I have a pile of cash, over 100 million behind me with every business, every property, and my garage is nearly full. Obviously, if you don't have the cash, you are doing some heists and probably Caio Preco especially to get the money. But passive money, I do only 3 things, and they seem to work out really well. Number 1 is the nightclub. I do the passive glitch, you've probably seen that elsewhere, so that I can throw somebody out of the nightclub every 2 or 3 real hours. To keep the popularity up, it takes about 30 seconds, and I empty my safe for 100 or 145k in cash. Then there's the downstairs part of it, which has been fed, of course, from the MC businesses I do nothing else with, and I sell that off probably every couple of weeks for something like $500,000 to $1 million, something like that. I looked at my computer recently. I've made over $100 million out of my nightclub, so well worth buying. And number 2 is the acid lab, and I rob stash houses in order to supply it. I sell it off every 2 or perhaps 3 real days for about 350,000 a time, and it's all really simple to operate, and there can be a little bit of tiresomeness perhaps in the delivery missions, but overall I think it's a great passive business. Lastly, I do the crate warehouses, just paying Lupe or her friends to get the crates for me, popping in whenever I go past. I have 2 warehouses. At the moment they're both full, and they'll stay full till it's 50% or double money, and then I'll sell them and I'll start to fill them again. That's it. That is all I do for my passive businesses. I also just do the normal time trial for 100k a week or 200k this week. Apologies for the appalling bike riding you're going to see. Of course, I've brightened the footage, but the reality is I can't go fast in this game in the dark. My eyes are too old. I don't see stuff in time. Anyway, I don't do the RC Bandito one because it drives me nuts, and I don't do the HSW one because I'm on PC and Rockstar hate us on PC, so we don't have it. Please leave any questions you have in the comments section, but I'm just going to forestall one that I'm expecting. I did say earlier on I rob the stash houses to feed my acid lab, and I can see people saying, but surely it feeds all sorts of businesses, and you would be right. But because I'm not operating my MC businesses, I have just chosen to keep robbing stash houses until all the businesses and the bunker were full with both product and stock, and therefore the only thing left for it to feed is my acid lab. So every time I rob it, acid lab, and that's why I do that. Well, there we are. I hope that you found some use in this if you haven't bought a chop shop, or maybe a little bit of guidance if you have. I haven't had much spare time recently. I was hoping to have a car video out today. There simply wasn't time, and I had most of this footage ready, so I just completed this one for you instead. I hope you don't mind. We will, of course, get back to car content very soon. I've had a number of builds that people have asked me to do, and the bulk of them have been done and at least in-game filmed, but it just takes a while to get it all put together in the PC. But I'll do that as soon as I can for you, start bringing some more stuff out. I imagine also a deep dive will definitely be coming on Sunday. This week's time trial is definitely one of the easy ones, and you can see despite my appalling bike riding, I'm going to complete it with tons of spare time. So if you haven't done it, try and squeeze it in before the changeover of the week tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you so much for watching.